Before we start, I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and share your thoughts in the comments, because this story isn't just about betrayal. It's about the people we trust most, and how even the closest ties can unravel in ways we never imagined. I remember the day it all began like a punch to the chest. I received a text from my sister-in-law. "I think you need to know what's happening before it gets worse." That was it. No explanation, just those cryptic words. My hands trembled as I stared at the screen, coffee spilling over the edge of my mug. Nearly 20 years of marriage, 20 years of building a life, a home, a family, and suddenly I felt like a stranger in my own life. At first, I tried to rationalize. Maybe it was nothing, a misunderstanding, a mistaken message. But the seed of doubt had been planted. I looked at my wife, Rachel, across the breakfast table that morning, and noticed something different. Her smile felt tighter, rehearsed, and the laughter that once filled our mornings now seemed forced. Over the next week, subtle signs began to stack against the calm facade of our home. Phone calls unanswered, messages deleted before I could see them, hushed conversations that stopped whenever I entered the room. Rachel grew distant, distracted, as if carrying a weight I couldn't share. And yet, when I confronted her, she would shake her head and reassure me, "You're imagining things. Everything's fine." I began questioning myself. Was I paranoid? After all, we had built a life together from scratch. Surely, after nearly 2 decades, I would recognize the signs if something was wrong. And yet, something felt off. The gut instinct I had learned to trust over years of marriage was screaming. The breaking point came unexpectedly. I was cleaning out the basement, sorting through old boxes, when I stumbled across a bundle of documents hidden beneath a stack of photo albums. My heart sank as I pulled them out. Bank statements, emails, and contracts, all indicating that Rachel's family had been siphoning money from our joint accounts for months. Bills paid late, investments altered, and funds quietly redirected, all without my knowledge. I sat there frozen, staring at the proof. Betrayal doesn't come with warning bells. It comes quietly, painfully, like a knife twisting in your chest. And this betrayal wasn't from a stranger or a co-worker. It was from my own family, the people I had trusted more than anyone. When I confronted Rachel that night, I was a storm of emotions, anger, confusion, heartbreak. "How long?" I demanded, voice trembling. "How long have they been doing this?" She looked at me, tears streaming, and whispered, "I tried to stop them, but I didn't know how to tell you. I thought I could fix it quietly." Her words didn't bring relief. They brought more pain. Nearly 2 decades of love, marriage, trust. It all felt like a fragile house of cards, crumbling with a single gust of deceit. The following days were a blur. I wrestled with memories that now felt tainted. Every dinner, every holiday, every shared joke. I began to question them. Had any of it been real? Could I ever truly know the people closest to me? The emotional weight was suffocating. I barely slept, replaying conversations, reviewing statements, trying to piece together the timeline of deceit. Yet, amidst the anger, I felt a flicker of understanding. Rachel had been torn between loyalty to her family and her love for me. I could see her guilt etched into every line of her face, every trembling hand, every whispered apology. Betrayal is never simple and rarely black and white. It is messy, complicated, and heartbreaking. The turning point came during a long, quiet conversation in our living room. We talked not as husband and wife, but as 2 people trying to understand a fractured reality. Rachel explained the pressure she had felt from her family, the subtle threats, the manipulations, the expectation to comply without question. And I shared my pain, my sense of being blindsided by the people I trusted most. It wasn't an instant fix. Trust, once broken, takes time to rebuild. But it was a start. We set boundaries with her family, sought financial counseling, and began to reconstruct our relationship piece by piece. And through that process, I realized something important. Betrayal doesn't always mean the end. It can also be a harsh teacher, forcing you to confront truths you might otherwise ignore. Months later, I reflected on the experience. The pain is still there, sharp in moments, dull in others, but has taught me resilience. I learned that love is not just about shared history, but also about honesty, accountability, and the courage to confront uncomfortable truths. I learned that self-respect matters more than blind loyalty, and that even in the deepest heartbreak, clarity and strength can emerge. So, if you're listening to this and you've ever faced betrayal from the people you trusted most, know this: it doesn't define you. How you respond does. Stand firm, seek the truth, and protect your peace. The people who love you will rise with you, and those who betray you reveal themselves in time. I hope my story gives you strength and perspective. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted? How did you cope? And what did you learn? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that explore the raw, emotional truths of human relationships. These are not just tales of heartbreak. They are lessons in resilience, self-respect, and the quiet power of moving forward. Because even after nearly 2 decades of love and betrayal, life goes on, and so must we.